Surviving infidelity. Caught wife cheating day before anniversary. D-Day was 10 days ago, January 29th. I won't forget that day now either, cause of the day after was our anniversary. Since then, I have been reading a lot of posts on this sub. It has been helpful to know I'm not the only one. Now I thinking posting what happened will help me out. It's going to be long cause I think details matter, and I've been playing it over and over in my head every day. Our story. Been with my wife 29 years, married 26. I'm 51 male, her 49 female. 2 grown kids, 24 male and 22 female. Meet in college, dated, fell in love, married, and thought what I believed was a great marriage. Did a lot of things together, talked all the time, communicated about things that were troublesome. Both of us had successful careers that we both supported each other in along the way. Great love life, maybe not as often as when we were younger, but just as passionate. She's in IT and I own a small landscaping company that employs 75 people that I started after graduation. She's been working from home a lot since COVID, and we have been talking about my easing out of the day-to-day operations and her going part-time so we can spend more time together and travel, etc., now that the kids are established. Looking back, there were no red flags that I've read so much about. No weird texting, no guarding her phone, no clothing changes, no unusual behavior, no nights out with people from work. When she did go out, it was friends and family, and I always heard from someone the next day how I should have come, but I wanted her to go out without me, and I enjoying being by myself doing stuff in my shop. She always was home early. To say I was blindsided is an understatement. D-Day. The week before, I had booked a weekend at a romantic bed and breakfast owned by some friends. Our state is open. Winter Festival was that weekend. I leave work early to surprise her and tell her to pack a bag. We're going away for our anniversary. I pull my truck in the driveway and find a strange car there. Right away, I just knew. Don't know why, but I did. I'm hoping and praying I'm wrong, but my gut is telling I'm not. I sit there a while wondering what to do. Leave and talk to her later, leave and pretend I didn't see it. Not sure what to do. I'm shaking so bad I can't see straight. When I have something at work, I have to do that might be uncomfortable. I always tell myself, man up, get this over with. Suddenly, shaking stops and feel very calm, no idea how, because inside I'm a wreck. I sneak in the back door and my black lab is laying there with a sad face, like he knows, instead of jumping on me. Man, I love that dog. He stays as I quietly go up the stairs. When I get upstairs, I can hear what is going on in our bedroom. I get to the door and open it, and see her boss on top of my wife. I stand there for a second and yell out surprise. The crap show that followed would be laughable if it didn't hurt so much. He rolls off trying to get out of bed, but he gets tangled up in the sheets. My wife is screaming, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and trying to cover up, but can't cause he's still tangled up. He finally gets out and starts looking for his clothes, only they're on the other side of the bed. This just hit me, in about the same spot where mine used to end up. Don't know why, but I beat him to them and grabbed them. My wife is crying "I'm so sorry," over and over. I back up to the door and stand there, and he's standing next to the bed naked. I grab the big easy chair out of the corner and pull it to the door and sit down. He asks for his clothes and I say no and toss him my wife's robe from the back of the door. He starts to walk towards me. Now, even though I'm 51, I'm in good shape. 6'3", 240. Years of going to the gym and working in landscaping have seen to that. I look at him and say, if you get any closer it's not going to end well for either of us. You'll be in the hospital and I'll be in jail, so why don't you just sit down? Wife is now sobbing into the pillow and he sits down. After an uncomfortable silence, he asks, "What now?" My reply is, "I have no idea." Wife is still crying a little but sits up. Finally, I pull out my phone and tell them that they are going to tell me everything while I record it all. They look at each and my wife asks, "What do I mean everything?" I say everything, how it started, how long this been going on, when, where, hotels, dinners, etc. Everything. My wife says this is the only time, to which I yell BS. There is no way you'd be comfortable enough to bring him to our bed if this hadn't been going on for some time. If you lie to me again. I'm walking out that door and finding a divorce lawyer. She starts crying again. So, for the next 10 to 15 minutes it all comes out, been going on for over 9 months. Started with him flirting with her etc. till he asked her to lunch and she went. A few drinks later they were at a hotel. She came home to me that night like nothing happened. She swears that it was killing her and she wanted to tell me but didn't know how. Again, I call BS. If it was killing you, it would not have been so easy to keep it going. They even went to a week-long convention for work that I used to go with her to. She told me company policy changed and spouses couldn't go anymore. I put my phone away and more silence. Then an idea hits me. I look through his clothes for his phone and ask him for passcode. He actually gives it to me, so I start going through his phone. I find some pictures of a woman I assume is his wife and ask her name. Carol. She's very pretty, but not as pretty as my Ashley, I tell him. More picture of kids, find out he has 3 and finally a family picture of all of them. I hold up the phone and say, a beautiful family, why did you throw it all away for a tumble with my wife? His reply, what do you mean throw it all away? Me, you really think Carol isn't going to find out? Him, how is she going to find out? Me, I'm going to call her right now. He stands up and says, no, you can't. My wife screams out, please, you can't do this to him. I lost it. Can't do this to him. You've destroyed me, our family, our friends, our future, and broken my heart, and you're worried about him. I'm shaking again, trying not to let her see cry, but I can't hold together anymore. I fall back in the chair and start sobbing. She tries to come over to me, but I look at her, say, stay the hell away from me. After a while, I calm down and look at his phone again. He again says, please don't, I'm begging you. I swear I'll tell her. Yeah right, I reply. He's standing there pleading with me not to, as I find her number and decide FaceTime would be even better. She answers and hi sweet. Looks surprised and says, who are you? Is my husband okay? He is for now, but won't be in a minute. I flip the screen to show him standing there in my wife's robe. I say, I believe you know him. The room he's standing in is my bedroom. The flowered robe he's wearing belongs to this woman. Swinging the phone to catch my wife trying to pull the sheets over her head, but too late. That's my wife, and I came home early today to find them having intercourse. I truly feel sorry for her and lousy for how I did it. She starts crying, and he tries the honey, I'm so sorry, I can explain, it was just one time etc. routine. I tell her not to believe a word, that's it's been going on for over 9 months, and that I spent the last 15 minutes recording all the details they were willing to share. I tell her I'm going to text her my number, and she should send me her email and I'll send her the video. I give him the phone, and I hear her tell him when he gets home, there will be a bag packed outside, and if he tries to come in the house, she'll call the police, and hangs up. I toss him his clothes and he leaves after he's dressed. Now, it's just me and my wife. She looks at me and starts to cry, saying she is so sorry, never meant to hurt me, can I forgive her, it didn't mean anything. All the usual cheaters BS. I look at her, tell her to pack a bag and get the hell out my house. I go downstairs and pour a drink. I'm sitting on the couch when she comes downstairs. She starts towards me and I say, just stop. She asks if we talk about this and I tell her maybe, just maybe, but not now. I tell her it's going to be really hard to not look for a divorce lawyer, and she starts crying again. She looks at me and I know and I love you is coming. I say, don't you dare say that right now, cause I don't think I will ever believe it anymore. More crying as she turns and walks out the door. Seeing her crying walking out the door, my entire life leaving, I break down and fall on the floor shaking, sobbing uncontrollably. No idea how long, but I finally sit down, still crying, and call my best friend. I try to speak, but start crying again and can't get the words out. He asks what's wrong, but I can't talk. He asks if I'm at home and I kinda grunt yeah, and says he'll be right there. 30 minutes later he's in my house, I'm still crying. I give him my phone with the video up and he proceeds to watch. I can't bear to hear it and get us both a drink. He comes in the kitchen and takes me drink away and dumps them both, saying, this isn't going to help you. Tells me I can't stay here tonight alone and go upstairs and pack a bag. I come downstairs and he has my lab on a leash and we go to his house. That was 10 days ago and I still feel like absolute crap. I know this was long, thanks for reading this far. I will try to update later. Now for the top advice. Meet with a lawyer ASAP. Just to know what your options are. Go to a doctor and get tested for STDs, who knows how many other women that dude had, or how many other men your wife had. Tell your kids and family before she twists the story to them. Once you did all that, take all the time you need to yourself. Write down the questions that you have. Yes, all of this. Absolutely get tested and be prepared to use the recording as proof to clear your name when the cheater tries to play victim. Wow, 29 years. Sorry bro. 9 months is a long time to pretend everything is fine. Imagine the number of lies she fabricated and the number of decisions she made. It's vile. Thanks for that. I am sure now she had to have lied about plenty of things. Your story caused a visceral reaction. Staying with your friend while you find your footing is extremely valuable. Also, it's great that he took the alcohol away. Lots of questions I want to ask, like, do your kids know? Have you talked to her? Have you consulted an attorney? Since it seems so fresh, I'll just hold off until you're comfortable updating. This community will offer support as well as advice. Stay strong. Also, great job getting it all on camera and contacting his wife. That'll be valuable in the future. Sorry brother. No coming back from that. To the streets she goes. The last story is titled, Done Deal. A lot of savage stories out here. Mine's not so savage. But still want to write about it to get it off my chest. 5 years ago, I ended a relationship. We had been together for 4 years, and it went sour, and she cheated on me. For half a decade, I worked on myself, on my trust and commitment issues. Tried to put myself back together. Eventually, I got to a place where I was really happy with who I was. I was ready to open my heart again. And then I, 27 male, met her, Kate, 26 female. She was amazing. Everything I'd ever wanted. Really everything anyone would want. I had got the girl every guy wanted. The problem was, every guy still wanted her, and she knew it, and loved it. I loved Kate with more passion and fierceness than anyone ever before. I threw myself into that relationship. Every bit of my heart and soul I poured into it. I committed to being the best I could for her. I was so ready to love someone, and she seemed like the perfect fit. Not perfect, she was flawed of course, but in a way that made it all the more real. She had flaws, but what does that matter when it comes to matters of the heart? We love what we love. Reason does not enter into it. In many ways, unwise love is the truest love. Anyone can love a thing because. That's as easy as putting a penny in your pocket. But to love something despite. To know the flaws and love them too. That is rare and pure, and perfect. One day, we were going down an escalator, and I saw a text from her, younger, slightly more immoral, sister pop up. Do you think Max XYZ is hot? I'm with Sam. 3 minutes later, she was in a foul mood. Foul. Sam, asked her what was wrong. She said nothing. Her sister can just be really mean sometimes. She didn't know I'd seen some of the conversation. The thing was, our relationship was built on good communication. When she didn't tell me something, I knew something was wrong. Later that night, I got insecure, and I checked her phone. The messages to her sister had been cleared, entirely. She was hiding something. I convinced myself she was protecting me. She was a good person. With a good heart. A kind heart. Someone worth loving, who would never hurt me. So, I didn't press it. Fast forward a few months, she comes to live with me, after doing a month-long distance. Something seemed off one day when she was writing in her journal. I asked her what she writes about, she declined to answer. We had a long conversation a few days later. Anything I need to know? Type conversations. Nothing. Again. My insecurity got the better of me, and I cracked, and I read the journal. For our whole relationship, it was littered with entries such as, woke up and daydreamed about Max. I know if I got the chance, I would cheat on Sam with Max. I will regret this, not exploring with Max. I want an honest chance with him. Sitting here, waiting for Max to text me. I don't have the energy to talk to Sam. Not only Max. I am thinking about intercourse with Sam, and wishing it could be with Wyatt. I will never accept that Wyatt and I will not hook up. Big weekend. Got drunk. Cheated on Sam with Wyatt. I confronted her about it. She said these were just fantasies. That the cheating was just texting. That it wasn't real. That I had violated the trust by reading her diary. I agreed, we had both messed up. Said I'd give her a second chance. That I understand that she might be having second thoughts, and that we all get swept away by our thoughts sometimes. In a way, I was pleased she was writing them down and casting them away. A lot of the entries were from long distance time. This was start of January. Enter start of February. She moves back to her place. My mother came to stay with me, could have been awkward. 5 days after moving out, about a month since the diary incident, a Friday, we go on a long walk. She discusses long-term futures with me. Sees us going the distance. How would I feel about raising children in this place? Who would she invite to the wedding? That night, she has a girls' night with her housemates. Gets drunk. No texts to me that night. Not even to say goodnight. I wake up several times in the night, worried. I'd seen this movie before. I check Wyatt's Instagram, she had liked his last photo that night. I went over there first thing. We spoke. She said she told her housemates everything about the diary, and just like the photo, not texted him or anything. We work it out, have intercourse, talk for 3 more hours, work through things, discuss kids, and other long-term futures again. Moving in together again, etc. She goes to the bathroom. I check her phone. She had texted her sister. Should I be with Sam? He would literally love me even if I killed someone. Or should I go be with other guys? And one text, from her, to Max. It was a response to a question. There was no preceding conversation. It had been deleted, but she had passed out before deleting this last text. She had written it in her notes too, before sending it via Instagram DM. How could she not even text me goodnight, but fall asleep talking to other guys? She comes back from the bathroom. Kate, I'll believe you didn't have a repeat with Wyatt last night. But did you talk to Max? Tears. Yes. Broke up with her on the spot. That made giving her a chance the month before the second hardest thing I'd ever done. Walking away from a woman I loved so purely, was the hardest goddamn thing I've ever done. I had told her from day one what would hurt me most, and she did it perfectly. 4 days on since then. We haven't spoken at all. I wonder if we will. I lie awake at night and think about her. I wonder if I made the wrong decision, if I just threw away something that could have been beautiful. I wonder if all the love I gave her will ever come back to me. But I think, whilst it wasn't physical infidelity, it was clear her heart wasn't with me. I think I did the right thing. Thanks to all of you here for being inspiring. My story isn't half as bad as most of them, but it hurts all the same. I have doubts in myself now. Hope I see it through. Now for the top advice. You did the right thing. Trying to be in a relationship with someone who is in love with someone else is an exercise in futility. I'm sorry it didn't work, but she's proven she is not to be trusted. She's a milk dud. Sweet on the outside, pure poison on the inside. Such an apt description. Part of me hopes she will change and fight for us. Part of me recognizes the futility. Don't drink poison just because you're thirsty. I know you're hurting and you wish against wish for her to finally see your worth. Problem is, she sees you as having no value, no worth. You are an end to a means for her, a security blanket so to speak. If she has you to always run back to, she will only continue to hurt you and engage in her spectacularly destructive behavior. Yeah. I think I realized if I let her do this, I would only reinforce her opinion that I'll be here no matter what. She'd have lost all respect for me. You made the absolute correct decision. You were her safety net while she cheated on you. There was so much more of this in your future together. Let her go be Wyatt's or Max's problem now. Go completely no contact and block her on everything. Don't let her suck you back in. It's time to focus on you. Yeah. I know I was the safety net. The contingency plan. I know it wouldn't have stopped. It was thematic throughout our whole relationship. I don't have much in the way of social media, but trying to stick to no contact as best I can. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Quick edit. Folks, I can't thank you enough for weighing in on this, whether you've said I've been strong, weak, I was a doormat, I'm a fool, or I am simply in love. Thank you. I sat down to write this to organize my thoughts. I knew I had to be true in showing how vulnerable, in love, and irrational I feel. Whilst, in my mind, Kate was an angel, she still is, I also needed to represent the facts as clearly and objectively as I could, so that strangers with no regard for my or her well-being could comment fairly. I've lain awake at 3 a.m. every night, in the most unmanly fashion. Imagine this, a 195-pound 6'2" grown man, crying my freaking eyes out, doubting whether I overreacted, or made the right decision, or screwed the pooch with the girl of my dreams. Reading all your responses gives me courage. Courage to believe that I didn't. I valued myself, and I made a difficult, but good choice. I need to sleep now, but I will continue to read and respond to any comments when I wake up, invariably at some ungodly hour of the morning. I've gotten a lot of peace from this. I'm glad I wrote it, and everyone here has had, and continues to have, their say. Thank you, internet strangers. And that's it for this video guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.